I want to point out a few different things here when it comes to ISIS on the war front. It's known at this point that they had got their hands on some 88 pounds of uranium compounds from Mosul University. Now, what many are not talking about are all the other radioactive materials which they can get their hands on that are located within hospitals, equipment, and all sorts of other things that they can combine these materials. And the end effect is shock value. You have to understand something, and I'm not sure many people are aware of this. There has never been a dirty bomb go off. I didn't realize it myself. All the weapons, all the bombs that's been exploded throughout the years. It's being stated here that obviously a nuke is going to leave fallout. An attack of this type will not leave fallout, which is a plus for them because they won't have to deal with it. But what this does is causes mass panic and fear. It's the shock value. If they can let loose a bomb with radioactive material and not have to deal with the nuclear fallout, then that's a plus for them. Now, as you can see here, they're obtaining it from other places. And I want to point out right here that there's been plenty of people that have been found guilty of conspiring to attack places with dirty bombs. For people like Dick Cheney constantly repeat dirty bomb, dirty bomb. And as you can see here, to date, no one is known to ever have been successful at detonating a dirty bomb. There's only 2 recorded cases of dirty bombs being made, both by Chechen separatists in Russia, but neither was detonated. So every time you've heard this term dirty bomb, it's something that's never been used, and it's never took place yet. And I can guarantee you it will. They will do this. I want to point out another thing that they mentioned right here in this article is the fact that you had all of this radioactive material recently stolen in Mexico, and it's still unaccountable for. There were 3 separate incidents, 2 of which they stole trucks and they were caught, and the other they broke into a university and they've never been caught since. This was right around the same time that Nogales had that incident where it almost blacked out the whole city. Now, when it comes to our border and it comes to things like this adding up, that these guys are planning attacks and that they could potentially be slipping into our country, it's just something you got to keep an eye on. And I want to point this out. In the mainstream media, although we're aware that Al-Qaeda, ISIS, all these groups are trained underneath the same umbrella, they're playing it out in the mainstream media like they're sparring, like they're going at it. They're trying to be the top dog on the block. As they state here, if ISIS could pull off a dirty bomb event, it would have so much shock value. It would create a media firestorm. Now, they're saying this about ISIS, but my point is this. ISIS has been getting a lot of attention, guys. Al-Qaeda, nothing. So, it's just something to keep in mind. This dirty bomb threat could go both ways. It looks like 2 groups racing to be the first to be able to claim this and pull this off. Problem is, depending on where they pull it off at, they're going to have to suffer the consequences. You think that, but it's all done by design, huh? In the end, it'll be the same people that always die. Innocent people. I'll leave links, as always, and I'll keep you guys updated as I get more information. But we have a plethora of information out here at this point showing us that ISIS has already got their hands on chemical weapons, other materials. They have billions of dollars in their war chest. And I don't think it would be too far-fetched to think that they could have a lot of people in Mexico and potentially crossing into our border, especially when we know who's behind this whole operation. It's a huge orchestration, but thankfully I know many of you are waking up to it, and that's what counts. Spindapu 7. Peace.